Guys, what is going on? I'm going to make this video for you today because this is a question that I received from a couple different people that didn't even know each other. One was from somebody that knows me pretty close, and one was from somebody on YouTube. And the question was what exactly do I need when I'm preparing for like a lawless time, or a time where, something's going on in the city I live in and the police are spread out all over the place and they're not going to be able to get to me for maybe up to a half hour or even more, depending on what's going on in that city. What I wanted to do was give you my opinion. Now, some of you guys on here, I know some of you guys watching know exactly what you're doing and what you need. And probably one of the guys that asked me this question knows what he needs as well. He's a very smart man. But sometimes people just want a second opinion to look at something from a different angle. I've done this before. I've been set in my ways on something, and had been for years, and watched a video where somebody that knew what they were doing gave his opinion, and it changed my mind on how I was doing things. So I'm going to tell you what I think you need, just baseline, just basic. And then I'm going to tell you what you can get away with. Let's say you can't afford or don't have everything that's on this table. I'm going to tell you the one thing, if you can only have one, what you need to have most, and the one thing that you should get first to cover your bases. Okay, so what I have here first, guys, is my Daniel Defense AR-15. I have my Mossberg 590 A1 shotgun, and I have a Larry Vickers Glock 17. Now keep in mind, this is just an example. The only reason I brought the Daniel Defense out is because it was in the front of my safe and I didn't want to dig through it to the back. But keep in mind, you can replace any item on this table with the brand of your choice. So, any gun that you would like, just replace it with that choice. But I'm going to give you a couple of ideas about why you would want certain types of firearms. So, somebody asked me about ammo. How much ammo should I have? People, when the government started to shut everything down and we didn't know what was going to happen, and ammo started getting scarce and people started buying up guns, people kind of got worried. And they started to realize that, that the government and law enforcement aren't always going to be there to protect my family. And people kind of got that hint really quickly, how fast things can go wrong. So people would ask me, how much ammo should I have on hand? My answer to that is, for each caliber, I say 1,500 to 2,000. Now, you could always have more. Of course, more is always better. You could use more for barter. Let's say the rule of law really went out the window. You could use ammo for barter or for sale or for goods. Or you could use it for other people that that's getting together with you and family. And you want to go out in a group and you have to go somewhere and do something. They may not have ammo, but they have guns. You can let your family and friends use some of your ammo. Now, to the guys that maybe just started buying guns and just started buying ammo, or you didn't stock up on ammo, and there's barely any ammo out there, what I'm going to tell you now is I would like for you to have 300 to 500 rounds. That would be my minimum. 300 to 500 rounds will be enough to get you through most situations and most things, if something goes wrong. I mean, let's put it this way. If people come into the neighborhood and they're burning down every house around you, and, the police are all over the place, nobody's going to get to you very quickly. So what you would need to do is be able to fend things off for a certain period of time. So 300 to 500 rounds for each firearm that you have. But I mean, like if you have 4 9mm and you only have 300 to 500 rounds, because that's all you can get, that's okay. I'm saying like if you have like an AR, 300 to 500 rounds, a 9mm, 300 to 500 rounds. Also, and people want to know about magazines. This is what I say. So for like the AR-15 down there, 4 to 6 magazines would be a great start. 4 to 6 magazines will cover you for about any situation that you would need. That's a lot of ammo, 4 to 6 30-round standard capacity magazines. If it's really hitting the fan, 4 to 6 magazines will last you way longer than you think it will. And also, with 4 to 6 magazines, there's always going to be some kind of time where you could at least reload a mag when you load another one, almost no matter what's going on. So 4 to 6 mags would be the baseline that I would say. But if you have 4 to 6 mags, I think you're going to be covered. Same with the Glock. With the shotgun, you're limited to what's in the tube, okay? So that's just what it is right there. So let's do a little recap here. Optimum number of ammunition would be 1,500 to 2,000 rounds per caliber. This is only for the guns that you feel you would use if you're in a world without law anymore. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to go out and get 1,500 to 2,000 rounds of everything you own. Like, for instance, if you've got a little 32 ACP pocket gun, you don't have to have 1,500 to 2,000 rounds. Use your common sense. We're looking at AR-15, 9mm, or whatever you choose, 40, 45, or, your shotgun. Minimum, if you're really stretched and you can't find ammo or you don't have the money, 300 to 500 is where you need to be on rounds for each caliber. 300 to 500 rounds. Magazines, 4 to 6 magazines for that AR-15 and for that Glock 9mm, that Glock 17 that holds 17 rounds in the magazine. 4 to 6 magazines will get you through about anything probably that you would have to face. Now, if you can't find any AR-15s right now because they are scarce, and I would just recommend to you to find you a Smith & Wesson M&P Sport or Sport 2. But right now, the last I seen, they're running $700+ if you can find them, when they were about $500 before this time and going back the previous couple years. So you are going to have to pay a premium to get even a Smith & Wesson M&P AR-15. I just really like those for a baseline, cheaper AR-15 that's cheaper in price. I just really like the Smith & Wesson M&P 15. Or you can get something more expensive just depending on how much money you have. Now, as far as if you can't have anything on this table, you've only got money for one thing, or you can only find one thing, what I recommend you would get, and the smartest move would be to get a handgun that has standard capacity magazines that holds around at least 17 or 15, whatever, but somewhere around 15 plus rounds standard capacity is what I would recommend. And the reason that is because the handgun is something that's very easy to wield. It's something you can take in a vehicle. It's something you can move around quickly in tight quarters. And also, if you have to leave your home and there's chaos going on in the streets, you want this hidden. You don't want this showing. Because if you were to go out and you had an AR-15 strapped on you in plain sight, it could be to the point to where people will just start shooting at you. And now this is extreme cases, guys. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm just saying this right here, if you can only have one thing, I would get the thing that's most versatile. And that would be this. You could leave your home with it. You could hide it. Even if you didn't have a holster, you could leave it unchambered without one in the chamber, magazine in, fully loaded, and you could put this in your pants pocket and put your shirt over it or your coat easily. You take it in the car, in the house. Like I said, close quarters, no matter how tight it is, you're going to be able to maneuver this around. So if you can only have one thing, I would say get a handgun of your choosing that the standard capacity magazines hold at least 15 or more rounds. Another thing I've been telling some guys that weren't too sure on is you can absolutely use your target hardball ammo for self-defense. The main thing that you have to think about when you're going to use that ammo for self-defense is that it's going to over-penetrate most of the time. It's still going to make a hole straight through someone. It's still going to be able to hit someone's vitals if you are on when you shoot. Now, I don't have to really say this, but let me just go back and say, we're only talking about protecting yourself from being killed when we're talking about other people in shootings. We're talking about protecting you or your family from being murdered, okay? People should know that, but some don't. like your Blazer brass ammunition that you would buy for the range, you could absolutely use that for self-defense. In fact, I know some ex-military guys that only carry hardball ammo. That's just their choice, and that's what they like to do. So if you ever have to, and you're not going to worry about over-penetration, you can carry any of your target ammo that you have in your safe. It's not going to have that terminal ballistic wound that a hollow point will have when it enters, and it's not going to open up and give more of a wound channel, but by all means, that round is going to punch through and through somebody and still make a hole that's as big as your thumb through that person. So don't think that you can't use ammo just because it says target on there, because you can use that ammo. And as a matter of fact, a lot of these gang shootings in places like Chicago and stuff, these guys are just using the cheapest ammo that you can find, toolless steel case. And these guys are killing people all day and shooting people all day with these rounds, and people are dying from that. These guys aren't going out and, getting Hornady, critical duty, and, and all these high-end specialty Corbon rounds. Most of these gangbangers, they're just buying what's $10.99 on the shelf for a box of 50, and that's what they're shooting other gang members with. Let me know if you guys found this video informative. Kind of felt like I was all over the place there for a little bit, but I don't take notes, and sometimes it's so hard for me to keep track when I'm going through this and, messing with the camera and trying to do the video at the same time. I really would appreciate a thumbs up, guys. It does help the channel. And let me know in the comments below what you think about what I told you in this video. A lot of guys that are new to guns and new to shooting could really get some good information from things like this. That's what I'm trying to do, is help people that may just not know. They have no idea where to start. And this will just give you an idea of a baseline of what you need. If you can have anything at all, I would say, first of all, get yourself a gun, a handgun that has 15 or more rounds standard capacity. Next, I would say get the AR-15. And third, I would say get the shotgun to cover all your bases in that order. All right, guys, until next time, I hope everyone's doing well out there. This is DOF, Ziva, and Agar, and we are out.